Good day, dear participants. We are delighted to be here today to tell about the educational environment during COVID-19 in Kazakhstan. And we'll be telling you more about this a little bit later. And now we would like to give you some more information about us. We study at Abay Kazakh National Pedagogical University. My name is Gubenko Alena. I am a 2-year PhD student in pedagogy and psychology. My research area is school bullying, teaching, and preparing a future teacher. And I would like to give the word to the second speaker.
Thank you. My name is Ramila Mahmulova. I'm a 2-year PhD student in pedagogy and psychology. My research area is intercultural communication, emotional intelligence, and tolerance. Now, I'd like to give the word to my colleagues as a third speaker.
Thank you. My name is Guldana Begimbetova. I'm a 2-year master's student in pedagogical measurement. My research area is assessing and monitoring students' knowledge.
And now we would like to move on to the situation of measures which were taken by our government during COVID-19. First of all, there were implemented new reforms for instance, political, administrative, social, and economic, such as border crossing regulations with other countries, import and export regulations, state aid for business, extra payment for medical staff, taxation matters, and so on. In addition, some online assistance was given, for example, online counseling with psychologists and doctors. Moreover, during COVID-19, all major mobile services providers offered free unbilled access to online educational resources. In some cases, they allowed their subscribers to access internet resources even if subscribers couldn't pay their account balance. Furthermore, different kinds of social assistance were provided. For example, social benefits during quarantine. Food and household items were provided to certain categories of people. As for learners, they were provided with computer equipment and special advanced training courses for teachers. Thereby, during the pandemic, there was distance learning over Kazakhstan. Different types of online platforms and digital educational resources were used, such as Bilimland, Kundeli KZ, Darin Online, Mektep Online, Karadomalak Studio, Opit KZ, Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, WebEx, Discord, Okuluk, and Zoom. The learning process was accompanied with psychological assistance, since the level of anxiety and depression was dramatically high. Moreover, the assessment was changed. And some more detailed information will be given by our colleague Rumila.
Thank you. An algorithm recommendation for the exams and thesis defenses based on the order of Minister of Education and Science of the 1st April 2020 for distance learning as well as the recommendations of UNESCO. The decision is made by each university itself within the framework of academic independence. There are 3 options here. First, passing the exams in distant format. Possible forms of conducting exams, written and remote testing exams via LMS or other systems, oral online exams via Zoom, Webex meetings, Microsoft Teams, etc. Second, assessment of the discipline based on summative assessments. Third, rescheduling the exam to a later date with iMark. This will allow students to take them later and protect them from being expelled. There are possible cases of postponement of the exam. First, lack of access to the practical base of the educational program. Second, insufficient technical means and access to the internet. Third, if the student is ill. We've covered possible student assessment and cases of postponement of the exams, midterms, and thesis defense. And now I'd like to move on the basic pros of distance learning. First, time saving. Second, opportunity to train computer skills that will help in all spheres of life. Third, different visual aids to encourage learners. Also cons. First, technical problems in remote areas with a network capability. Second, some students in distance learning have lost interest mainly in PE, art, and music. Third, the pandemic threatens lead to the functional literacy. And now I'd like to give the word to my colleague Guldana, who is going to tell us the limits and perspectives conducting research in COVID-19.
Thank you. The first, students who studied natural science faced the challenges conducting experimental researches because of the lockdown, and all the students had difficulties with their placement since it was online. However, there were many positive aspects that distinguished remote placement from the standard one. First, students saved some money and the time that they usually spend on the road. Secondly, working at home, they could sit in a cozy chair with their own laptop, although this was literally a double-edged sword since being too relaxed and distracted by household chores could lead to loss of the productivity. Second, also online surveys were used to analyze and measure several aspects of experimental research. There were different types of questions, such as multiple paragraph checkboxes, file upload, drop-down questions, and etc. Users can analyze inquiries with automatic summarize and watch as responses appear in real time. Third, and now I'd like to turn to access to scientific databases. There were carried out a large amount of seminars and webinars to help students with their researches. For instance, there was provided to access to Web of Science. That's all I have to say about challenges and perspectives while conducting scientific researches during the pandemic. And this leads to our idea how to support people in such severe conditions like coronavirus 19. First of all, we'd like to pay your attention to EQ, since people have to control their emotions, feel other people's emotions, and develop self-awareness, motivation, self-regulation, empathy, social skills, and their ability to handle pressure and anxiety. And we need some more free online platforms and perhaps some free online courses in contemporary trends such as programming, marketing, targeting, web design. That brings us to the end of our presentation. We have talked about the general situation, educational environment, challenges, perspectives, our suggestions, and the measures taken by the government in the terms of COVID-19. And there is some time for questions we would like to ask you. The first, how the pandemic is affecting the world's education system. Second, what the students' life during quarantine look like. Third, how to motivate online learners during the pandemic. Thank you for your consideration and attention.